on the bungle. Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready.
Call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready.
But I don't think he gon' make it. Not the way he was shivering and shaking on the pavement.
Welcome to the Fighter's Share Live. Things happen when you do things live, but we're glad to be back.
Yeah.
This is the Badger,
And this is Brew.
and we're glad to be here with you. We haven't really given her a full nickname yet.
We gonna wait on that. We ain't gonna do it right now.
All right. So we just call her Britt.
We ain't got to say nothing, bro.
Brett,
Just chill, bro.
X-Split Britt, nothing.
Just chill.
Okay. So for those of y'all who caught our broadcast of the fight,
Couple weeks back.
Battle in the Bay,
March 14th.
we'll definitely be getting into that. We thank you all for joining us here live on Facebook and YouTube.
Before we get started, can you, bro, what's up with the sound effects?
What do you mean? No, that was my favorite Pac-Man. Anyways, look, we're gonna have a good time with you. Stick with us. We're talking about some really good subjects.
Yep.
And if you look in the, right over here, see, you'll know exactly what's coming up. That's so tight. 'Cause I feel like I'm doing something.
You are, it's called moving your hand.
Really? So, look, we're glad to be back.
Yeah.
We want to have fun with you. We want to inform you, ride with you. It's going to be a good time. Anything you want to say to the people before we get started and we give our shout out to?
No, just glad to be back, man. I mean, this is our introductory show. We've been going for a little while. For those of you young bucks that think all this YouTube stuff started yesterday, you know we've been doing this for about 5 years. So please go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, and look at the archive of all the interviews we've done, all the big names in boxing, from
Yes.
Earl Spence to Deontay Wilder,
Keith Thurman,
Tank Davis,
Ronnie
Gary
Shields,
Russell Jr.,
Barry Hunter.
We can go on and on and on with this thing, baby. That's just how we do it.
Yes. Hey, we want to give shout out to all the first responders, all the people in the medical community for dealing with this coronavirus. And we all have our own opinions on how it could have been dealt with even better. But the people who are on the front lines have to do their job. They can't sit up and debate what we should have done. So, you know, our prayers are with you, our thoughts are with you and your families, because every day that you go to work, there's a risk that you're going to bring it home. So we thank you all for still saying your prayers and going to work, because we need you.
Yeah, and this is also not the time to be talking about, oh, well, what about when this happened? What about when that happened? People didn't respond to it. Look, this thing is affecting everybody.
Yes.
You know, I'm as for my people as the next man. But to be honest with this thing, man, we got to take this seriously.
Yes.
This thing is jumping everybody. It knows no color, no ethnicity, no borders. It's a global thing that's happening right now. Unfortunately, we live in a time where there's a lot of misinformation out there. We don't know what to believe, who's telling the truth. We do know the deaths are real.
Yeah.
People are leaving here every day
Yeah. And not coming back.
and not coming back. And it's directly related to this virus, so we got to really take this thing seriously.
And the people in my neighborhood, pandemic is not another form of weed. It's something you need to take seriously, because they're standing outside today, like 15 of them. And yes, I ain't calling nobody out, but they just happen to be Hispanic. And they were,
Hey, wow, bro.
No, because most people think just in my neighborhood, but we have all kinds of ethnicities in my neighborhood now. But we talk, we have a good relationship. I'm just saying. And at least I didn't say what ethnicity they were. I'm just saying. But you got 15 people standing around sharing a blunt. This is great social distancing.
But the act of enjoying and partaking is to be in a group setting, the puff puff give. So by the essence of what the recreation calls for, you gotta have a group. It's communal.
Smoke your weed by yourself.
Smoke by myself, drink by myself.
That way you don't have to keep sanitizing the blunt every time it comes through. They got wipes out there. Try to be safe. Try to be safe. Come on, dog. Hey, but in all seriousness, you know, we really have to use common sense, and we want to give a shout out to the family of one of the great promoters around this country, Marshall Kaufman.
Yeah.
We found out that his son had it. His son was able to rebound from it. Travis, heavyweight, was able to rebound from it, but Unfortunately, they said Marshall's in ICU, so my prayers go out to you, sir, and your family. You know, we'll keep you in our thoughts. And we know, strong as you are, you'll be able to rebound from this. So, you know, moving on. We had a great show.
Yeah.
We got a great show, and this is the hall monitor, the timekeeper today. So he's gonna keep me on track.
On my grind.
On my grind. What's on my grind?
Man, the fight, the Rumble in debate, March 14th. That's the grind. That's the hustle. Talk about it. What did they miss?
They missed a lot.
Yeah.
Unless you were one of the thousands that caught the stream for free, missed a lot.
That's what we do.
Right. So, listen. It was what you would normally call a local show here in Tampa Bay. It was at the Glacier Jewish Community Center on March 14th, and it was a packed house. Had like 7, 8, 10 bars, so everybody had alcohol in them.
They did.
Except us. We were working.
Yep.
And they had like one food line. It was like going to a black child's birthday party where you got like a cake, a bag of chips, and $800 in alcohol. I'm just saying, that's what it looked like. Bro, y'all tell me if I'm wrong.
You got it.
You got it wrong. But the fights were good. They were really good.
Yeah. And, you know, personally, from us, we just want to make sure we touch a little bit on every fight and give a shout out, man, because Pier 6 Promotions did their thing.
They did. Shout out to Pier 6 Promotions. Ivan and LaToya. Shout out to them because they really did. They did an excellent job with that. All the VIPs were sold.
VIP was sold out.
So let's get into some of these fights because we interviewed most of them at the weigh-ins.
Yeah, we did.
And I want to start out with my man who called his fight.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Who called his fight?
Who was it?
He said, I don't need no nickname.
What your name is?
My name is Josue Loyola.
Yeah, he did his thing, man.
He said, I don't need a nickname because I was going to give him
all
a
about
nickname.
that business.
Right.
All action.
He said, it's going to be round one. And it was round one. Uno. Oh, I didn't know you knew Spanish. Okay.
Renaissance man.
Next fight.
Great job. Hey, the SOHK boys, man.
School of Hard Knocks out of Castleberry.
Hey, man. Gene Guerra, El Gato.
El Gato.
See, this is why I want to say it.
Gene El Gato. Guerra.
Can you stop?
What?
Jeez.
Come on, man. That's like a dream.
Okay.
El Gato.
Julio El Macho.
Julio El Macho.
Solis. Listen, man. Great job.
Excellent. And Julio El Macho Solis had as many fans as the main event.
They brought him out, boy.
Yeah.
They brought him out.
I mean, I was like, who's this?
They brought him out. That was a heck of a reception to come to.
Yeah.
And that means so much to these young fighters because, you know, eventually these guys will be fighting in front of their home crowds.
Correct.
And they'll be in an arena so big they can't even hear their people when they root for them. So, hey, man, keep bringing them out.
Keep bringing
them out. We need the local support.
Keep bringing them out, setting them up, knocking them down.
Big Cannon. Brian Kennedy Jr. out of
Fort Myers 3-0. I got excited there.
Yeah.
I got to stop because I don't know if your stool can take it.
It ain't. It's screaming right now.
It is. It's screaming. It thought it was a bad date you had. So, Brian Kennedy, man, look. If y'all catch the stream, go to our YouTube page
and watch that.
Watch the whole stream.
That boy
watch
put work.
His opponent didn't even come out of the corner.
He didn't give him a chance.
He came out of the corner like he was, and then got knocked right back in the corner.
Right back. And the fighting Willises, Quentin Willis, got a win on the card.
Yeah.
And his father and Marcus, who worked Quentin's corner, I think they also helped a little bit with Brian Kennedy's corner.
Okay.
So it's a family affair down there in Fort Myers, man. Shout out to Brian Perella.
Brian Perella. He wasn't there, but
Nico Price, UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Fort Myers. Hey, man, they doing their thing down there in Lee County, man.
Fort Myers is looking right in the ring and in the cage.
They doing it, man.
Hey, have you ever been to Fort Myers? I'm just saying, what else you gonna do but fight?
Silk.
No, I mean, someone play football. Like, shout out to Javon.
Silky Camfort, man, got the decision.
Yeah, he did.
Wasn't even close.
It wasn't
the outcome he wanted.
Right. But he came out unscathed, and he got the decision, and he's on to the next one.
Elijah Morales. I like that young pup. I like that kid. He's also trained by the same guy that trains Mark Reyes.
Yes.
Chino Rivas. Hey, man, that kid got a bright future, man.
He does.
Athletic, quick on his feet.
Chino sound like
Sit
he in
down
the
the
mafia,
punches
man.
a little bit, boy. Elijah, man. You gotta chill.
Come
bro.
on. I mean, that name, Gino Rivas.
Jaws Ocasio, good win, man.
Yes.
We saw you do your thing, man. Keep up the good work. Time Bomb, Ricardo. Hey, man, you and Coach Lynn's doing your thing, man. And your father's your biggest fan, man. So y'all make sure y'all keep that bond tight, man, and keep climbing.
Listen, and he's one that I really say look out for because he got his first loss early.
Early. Got out
And
the
he
way.
strung, knocked out 5 in a row. I'm telling you, when you look at a record, you say, oh, man, he got a loss. A lot of times that means that's a wake-up call.
Angel Ilarasa.
Yes.
Can't forget you, brother. Good work.
Good job on that name, bro.
Dodgeball.
Dodge ball.
Who's dodging who? Now, we don't like to use the word quack. We don't do that. We don't call fighters the other colloquialism for a homeless person. We don't do that.
You don't have to be homeless to be a bum.
Oh, I didn't say it.
And if y'all are wondering how,
I ain't say that.
you can keep up with the segments right here. We're on dodgeball right now. So, look, this is the segment where we talk about people who are running. Who are running.
We gotta.
But that's what they're doing. All right.
It's business.
It is. The business of running. Like I always see Dana White with track shoes on. He look like he hadn't run up but to the refrigerator. But he's always got track shoes on.
Oh, you got it. Chill.
What?
So, okay, what's up with Dana? Why
All
you mad
right.
at Dana?
I'm not mad at Dana. I'm mad at the people who let Dana do what Dana does. Dana White and Randy Couture brought this out. He even testified in front of Congress about it, that fighters need to be able to create a union within the UFC because the UFC is one of the only promotions, a sanctioned body, that allows their promoter to rank the fighters. Ooh. So if you're a promoter and you want to rank the fighters, if I'm knocking people out on dark matches, shows that aren't making television, you'll never see me if I'm staying ranked outside the top 15 or the top 20. Even if there are only 21 in my division, I'm winning and I'm never moving up the ranks because the promoter doesn't think I'll sell or just has an attitude about me. That's the problem with the UFC.
But listen, you can't get mad at Dana White because he controls the chess pieces. He controls the board. The UFC, for lack of a better term, I mean, they have competitors, but let's be real. They're the Coca-Cola of cage fighting. They're the Coke of MMA. Listen, it's going to be hard
And
to
if you
break
drink
that
too
up.
much Coke, it'll kill you. Go ahead.
I mean, that's true. Everything in moderation, right? But for what, as it stands right now, man, he controlling all them pieces. And every young guy that's coming up in the MMA ring, MMA world, they want to go to the UFC. They're not trying to get the World Series of Fighting. They're not trying to get the Bellator. They're not trying to get the one championship. They're not trying to get the Brave. They want that UFC recognition.
I'm glad you brought that up. Nobody's really trying to get the one championship. But guess who got sent the one championship?
Uh-oh, who's that?
Mighty Mouse.
You mean at the time the best fighter in UFC history with the most consecutive title defenses?
Soon as he lost to Henry
Wow.
Cejudo, I'm
And that
sorry.
loss was very
Soon as they
questionable.
stole that match from him and gave it to Henry Cejudo, and I wrestled, so I understand. I'm not trying to come against you, Henry, but you didn't win that fight, and he didn't get his rematch. He got traded.
What?
How do you trade a fighter to another organization? And what'd you get in return? Some Vaseline? I'm just saying.
Whoa.
You don't do that. That's just not something that you do if you're supposed to have any integrity. Ask Chris Cyborg. She lost to Amanda Nunes, and then what happened? Bye. So you'll get no rematch. Huh. Next thing you know, Amanda's got Modelo commercials.
Modelo.
Because there's nobody left to
She
really
ain't got Corona
fight.
commercials.
Who?
Corona commercials.
Is it time to move on to the next?
Hey, speaking of dodgeball though, look. So how about everybody getting them a boy Canelo, old cinnamon,
Oh, don't go to cinnamon.
the Scottish Mexican,
Oh, man.
redhead Mexican. People don't even know he's Mexican.
I'm Scottish and
They don't even know
Mexican.
Mexican.
No, until he starts talking.
But listen,
Then he's clearly Mexican.
so Canelo is another guy that has earned. I'm not saying it's right, but he's earned the ability to control the pieces on the chessboard, and he's the cash cow. He's the biggest star in all of boxing, and all these guys want their shot.
Here's the funny thing.
Andre, Charlo,
But they're not gonna get it.
Murata.
They're not going to get
He's
it.
getting Billy Joe and Gennady.
Right.
That's what he gets.
He's taking Gennady out of the nursing home, putting him back in the ring.
I don't know who want to see that fight.
Canelo.
I mean, people want to see it, but I mean, come on, man.
Jim Lampley.
The way Gennady looked in his last fight against Derevchenko, this is
Right.
going to be a wash.
Exactly. And that's why Canelo's taking it. Because somebody said the first one was a draw. It wasn't a draw. The second one was clearly a victory. But somebody else said, well, we got to have a rubber match. Why? Gennady is clearly past his prime. Clearly past his prime. So what do you have to gain, Canelo, by fighting him? You have a lot to gain by fighting Charlo. because you're only 29, bro.
And that's the caveat. He's only 29, so guess what? These fights are gonna happen. Yeah, we want to see them now, but we understand the business of combat sports, especially boxing. Sometimes these fights have to marinate. Sometimes life throws a wrench and things happen.
Here's your issue.
You know, but I think
You've created a new weight class for Canelo, 165.
Hey man, when I'm
Not
paid-
160, not
when I'm
168,
paid the cost to be the
165.
boss, I can do whatever the hell I want.
But everybody came in and jumped on Floyd, talking about Floyd was ducking people.
That's because Floyd was Floyd.
You can say it.
We ain't gonna say none of that.
That was Floyd.
Punch, counter punch. NCAA boxing, really?
Oh, yes. Yes.
NCAA boxing. Really?
Yes. Here's my point with NCAA boxing. Boxers get used and abused anyway, whether through the amateurs or when they first come in, right? So if I'm a guy who is not going to make the Olympic team, I'm good. I'm a good amateur. I may have done well in the Golden Gloves in my state, but I'm just not going to be that 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. I'm not going to make the Olympic team as an alternate or whatever. NCAA boxing would allow me to have an option to go to college on a scholarship, using these, improving my skills. Look, I was part of the National Collegiate Boxing Federation at USF. There were a lot of guys Go Bulls. There were a lot of guys we saw who were really good. They were really good, but for one reason or another, they just weren't to that point where somebody saw them, was able to see them and say, hey, if you turn pro, I can put you on the right path. But because now we're going and fighting schools like the Citadel and other schools up and down the East Coast and the South, and we were able to get some exposure. So some of these kids like Keith was an amateur boxer for years, but didn't think he was going to have the opportunity to really do anything. So he went to college. While in college, he was able to join the boxing team that we had. And people got a chance to see him. But these kids right now are not on scholarship who are in the National Collegiate Boxing Federation. So if you give them scholarships, you give kids an opportunity to earn a degree that they may be able to use once they leave school if boxing really isn't working for them. So that's my point. The NCAA used to sanction boxing way back in the day. They got rid of it. And I think it was off the strength of a lot of the big-time promoters who felt like they were taking these young kids from them that they could make money off of. Because now if I go to school and I get an education, by the time I get into the hurt business of boxing, now I have more of an understanding of what I need to do to make my money, what my value really is. Instead of just jumping in at 9 and 10 and being brought up and coddled and coached and, by people who just want to make all the money off of me and then throw me away when I get an injury or I just don't beat the right people.
You done?
No, but go ahead.
Because that was a bunch of bull. First of all, you
spoken with Dale Earnhardt outfit.
Listen,
That's
man,
okay.
you just like the slave master. Now you want the guys to go fight for the same people that's been exploiting athletes since the beginning of time? Come on, man. We see it every March and every fall in all sports, but especially those two. Oh, don't forget the College World Series of baseball. Bro, NCAA make billions, and what do these student athletes get? Nothing. Education?
So are you telling kids not to go to college and play football?
Right? I let you talk, right?
I'm saying.
I let you talk, right?
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is this. If I'm a fighter, why am I going to get beat up at a university that's going to do the same thing you just said, totally throw me away and discard me when I'm useless? Because we see them do it with football players and basketball players and baseball players and everybody else with the same ilk every day. Hence the Enterprise commercial. Listen, fighters have a very short shelf life, and unlike other sports, it could literally be over permanently, not where you can transition to another form of employment, but you can literally die in the ring. They do not need to spend their time fighting in the NCAA. The NCAA does not need another stream of income to make more money off these kids. Boxing is fine the way it is. Stay out of NCAA. They pimping enough kids as is. And that's it. I ain't really got to go into detail about it. It's ridiculous. That's preposterous. And the fact that you condone that is ridiculous.
I condone it because I look at wrestling. I look at how wrestlers are able to come through the NCAAs and have more exposure and opportunity when they get out, whether they go to, they make the world teams or they move into MMA. But they get so much maturity and growth being in college. They couldn't do it coming out of high school. So you'd rather take a kid who, okay, you go fight for this amateur team. You go to the AAUs, you get beaten up. You got the same headgear on that you'd have in collegiate boxing. You got the same body protection you'd have in collegiate boxing. But yeah, go get your head beaten in at the AAUs and then have nothing. Nothing. Not even 20 credits to your name. No exposure to anything that's going to help you grow in the future. Does a degree help everybody? No. But it does help enough. Or we wouldn't have these other kids going to college to play these other sports like wrestling.
Yeah, I said it.
Oh, Lord.
What's up? Talk to me.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I said it.
So you stand on that, right? So
Yeah.
again, we're gonna go back just a little bit. Talk about how you feel Dana White is mishandling fighters in the UFC. You gave a pretty good example with Mighty Mouse. I would like for you to expound a little bit more on that because I think that we got kind of caught up in some other topics there. Let's dictate a little bit more time to that.
I honestly, Dana White is just a international pimp. I mean, he is in a position where somebody bought the Zumov brothers helped build UFC with their money, and they gave him control. And then when they sold the company, Dana White was able to still maintain control, controlling interest in how everything flows. If we really want to go back, you can look and see how boxers just fade away in the UFC, or fighters fade away in the UFC. Mm-hmm. You look at the fact that what he was able to do when he signed Reebok as the main sponsor. Okay. And now I'm not able to go out and get my private sponsors to help me eat while I train. Okay, that's one thing. The fact that you control the rankings is another thing. The fact that you have fighters who are now coming out publicly talking about, I'm fighting for a title or I have a championship and I'm making less than some of the fighters who are fighting on right around the undercard, at the end of the undercard. And you can look and find out how much each fighter gets paid from these UFC fights. It's public knowledge.
Do you think the UFC fudges their numbers like the boxers fudge their numbers? Because you do know that boxers, that what the commission releases as their pay for the fight is not always accurate.
Correct.
There are usually kickbacks and other things, other ways they generate additional income on top of what was put down as their purse.
I've thought about that, but then when you see so many fighters
Okay.
saying the same thing, and these aren't like fighters from the same camp.
Okay.
You have fighters, and I'm going to use fighters like Cowboy Cerrone.
Okay.
He's a good fighter. I think he has the most
One
fights.
of the legends, yeah. His resume is long.
But you'll see him, he'll get paid as much as some of the guys who are fighting in the main event. Maybe not the champions, but they're contenders.
Well, here's a thought, right? And this is something that I think could make it a little bit more practical in what you're saying. If they were making the money they should be making, why are they trying to fight boxers? Every UFC fighter of note has called out a boxer recently. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Well, we do know that boxers don't have to be champions or belt holders to make more than some of the top guys in the UFC.
Exactly. A lot of people get caught up in the whole Conor McGregor thing.
Right.
If I was Conor, I'd have taken the fight too. If I'm making
absolutely.
I'm a stretcher. I think it's $3 million, but it might be $5 million a fight, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm making 126 from Floyd for one fight. That means I'd have to have 25 fights.
Too many.
Right.
Yeah.
In my career at a top level.
Yeah, championship. Yeah,
Right.
not coming down. You got to stay at the top. Yeah.
to make that money. So yeah, I applauded Conor for jumping in on that. And look at the women in MMA. Not everybody was Ronda Rousey, who was guaranteed $3-point-some million a fight, even though she really was a bag of wash. We'll go with that.
Whoa.
Well, Amanda didn't. It wasn't just Amanda that exposed. It was Holly Holmes. Yeah. Now you go to the WWE, you get in WWE, and you got wrestlers talking about they're challenging your legitimacy there. But
Oh, really? I missed that.
Yeah, it's come out. Some of them got fined for it. because
And then she did movies too.
yeah, and then she
Ronda
did
Rousey definitely had some privilege.
Yeah, she did, and I'm not hating that.
No, you can't. I mean,
No.
hey, we would all do the same thing.
Right, I'm just saying you're making more money than the women that beat you in the UFC. And who can contest that? Because Dana governs everything. Everything. You need to have, like Randy Couture said when he talked to Congress, you need to have a fighters union or sanctioning body who can kind of oversee these things.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely, my friend. And until a seismic shift happens within an organization,
Yeah.
they're gonna keep doing this thing.
He is.
And I ain't mad at that. Meanwhile, this is the part of the show we talk about stuff outside of fighting for the most part.
Yes.
So the world stopped, and Tom Brady became a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. How you feel about that?
Who's Tom Brady?
Oh, just the greatest quarterback of this generation. He actually was is who he is.
Anyways, yes, the Buccaneers did what they always do. I thought they had gotten out of this stupidity. Remember when they let Doug Williams go because he wanted $400,000, or he wanted $600,000, and they were only going to pay him $4 million?
Well-
So then they signed Jack Thompson,
Well,
the
you got-
throwing Samoan.
well, yeah, but you-
and gave him $1 million.
What you gotta understand, Doug was playing in a day when there was a lot of issue with black quarterbacks.
There still is. Ask Bill Polian. Lamar Jackson is not a quarterback. He should be a receiver. That's why you're out of a job. Anyways, what?
I'm riding with you, bro. Go ahead.
So-
I'm riding with you.
So the Bucks decide we want Tom Brady because Tom gonna get us to the Super Bowl. You know what? Tom Brady has never blocked anybody in his life. Tom Brady does not play offensive line. Tom Brady is not gonna run the ball. I mean, they timed his 40 on the sundial. He has been a great quarterback. You get 6 rings, I don't care who you are. You got to be great at something to get 6 rings. So I'm not challenging his authenticity as a quarterback. I'm just saying it's like Marino. You never paid Marino to scramble. With the line the Bucks have right now, you better put some wheels on Tom Brady. Because Winston got hit. I don't know if y'all remember seeing that, but Winston got hit.
Well, you know, everybody's thing is that Winston threw Tampa Bay out of games. They lost games because of his turnover problem. Here's the deal, and Warren Sapp said it the best, and I'm not going to get too much into it because it's another topic we want to touch on real quick in this segment. Warren Sapp, probably the greatest defensive tackle of all time.
Definitely
arguably,
of his generation,
right? And
yeah.
definitely the greatest Buccaneer.
Yeah.
Right? Ooh. Warren Sapp said that when they had 3 at quarterback, there were a lot of games that they should have won because they scored enough points to win those games. Now, Warren, as you know, the league ain't the same. It's not the league that you grew up in. It's not the league you retired out of.
Right.
They've changed the rules. It's more for the casual fan. They want downfield throws or offensive explosions. Nobody wants to see a 13-10. If your Buccaneers be playing now, Warren, even if y'all was winning, people would turn the TV off.
Right.
Because they don't want to see defensive games. But Warren's right. I mean, a lot of those games that the Bucs lost, they probably would have won if they had the ability to run the ball and take time off the clock instead of having to continue to throw the ball. Jameis did turn the ball over a lot. He was turnover prone. But look, 5,000-yard passes do not grow on trees. He threw a lot of interceptions. He threw a lot of touchdowns. And just as a caveat, in Bruce Arians' offense, every quarterback in their first year under his offense, with the exception, I think, of one quarterback, threw their career-high interceptions.
Right.
He told Jameis to be fearless, but yet then he downs him in public when he makes a mistake. And then the last 3 games of the season, the kid has a broken thumb, doesn't have his 2 best receivers. The playoff chances are pretty much nil, and you kept him out there anyway.
Right.
Because you were trying to set him up to fail. This is my belief. You want to make him look bad. Then when the season ended, you saw all these bad things about him to decrease his value. So now guess what? Now that you got the quarterback you initially wanted, now Jameis can't find a job, and it's not because he can't throw the football.
Nope. And look, I'll make this quick because I know we got to move on. 2 things. One, Terry Bradshaw, probably one of my favorite quarterbacks because 4-time Super Bowl champion, Pittsburgh Steelers. Even Terry Bradshaw said the coach is showing how much he is not a true leader, because Terry said all you got to do is take Jameis, if you're such a guru, and coach him up. Terry said, look, hire me as your quarterback coach. I understand where he's making his mistakes. I can coach this kid. Coach him up. He's a good quarterback. You don't win a national championship and a Heisman Trophy throwing the ball if you're not a good quarterback. But if you're constantly under duress, if you have balls bouncing off your receiver's hands into the defensive back's arms, you can't control that.
Man, you're not going to win this argument, bro.
No,
They're
I'm
talking
not.
about the pick sixes and all that, but whatever, I digress. John Jones, man. What's
Meanwhile,
up with your boy?
from the police blotter.
Man, John Jones, what happened? We got 20 seconds. What's up with him, man?
Listen, I'm not even going to touch on this because every time I come out and say, John, you need to do this better, you need to do that better, then we find out more information later where maybe John wasn't as at fault as he said. So I'm just going to wait and find out after the court case, and then I'll talk on it.
Too bad John ain't watching the show. He might one day, though.
He ain't got nothing else to do right now.
Ain't nobody got nothing else to do but
Right,
watch this show.
watch this show.
Everybody home self-quarantining.
Yes, except us. Just saying. That should be the next segment. I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
think that looked good on. Anyway.
What?
Hashtag.
Couldn't
have been me.
Woo.
So, normally we'd have a clip for y'all to play, but that'll come on the next episode.
Yes.
But understand what this hashtag means, and if you don't know, we're gonna give you a little insight what.
And you don't want to wind up on it.
Means. Oh yeah.
You
So
don't
go ahead.
want-
Give him a little background.
You don't want to wind up on this segment because this segment is when we show something that happened to you, and we look and say, "Bruh, that couldn't have been me."
Yeah. You had to come see me, bro.
Yeah.
After whatever you did, we had to meet in the parking lot. I'd have went to the trunk. You ain't gonna do that in front of my wife and kids.
No.
My family.
You ain't gonna walk the dog with me.
On the interwebs, the interwebs is undefeated.
Interwebs.
Every time I show somebody gonna play that for me.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad to see that your kids starting kindergarten. But remember when this happened to you at it?
Right.
Bro,
you
what?
do that to me, bro, I'm bringing a cameraman and a whooping to your house if I need to.
Yeah.
We're going to even this up. I'm going to have something to post in response to what you did to me.
I might fight your kids.
Yeah, that's a
We gonna get even.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
for
kick
sure,
your
yeah.
dog. Something's gonna
Yes.
happen. sorry, Peter. I'm a dog owner. But we gotta get even, bro. Like you ain't gonna whoop me in front of the world. Whoop me like that.
No.
You can beat me. You might choke me out. You know, I might get hit with a punch I can't see. But bro, you ain't just finna humiliate me like that in front of the world.
No, I'm a man first. You can't do this to me.
Man first, woman it don't matter.
Right. Wow.
I'm like Adrian Broner. Anybody can get it.
Any
You do
man.
me like that. You do me like that in front of the whole world. We got a problem.
Right. I'm gonna look at you and tell you straight up, these hands is ready to eat for everybody.
For real.
Hey, you can't do that. So when you start seeing us playing people on here, and if you see somebody get knocked out,
Send
or
it.
you see somebody get beat or dropped, send it to us. Because we'll put it on. This is going to be a fun segment.
Yeah, we reaching out to everybody out there that's
Yes.
watching this show.
Yes.
You got a funny clip. Hey, fighters, if you get the best of somebody and nobody saw it,
Right.
send it here.
And look, if you
We'll
see
definitely put it on.
if you see somebody get knocked out trying to get some toilet paper in Walmart, send it to us.
Yep.
We'll put it on.
Yep.
We really will.
We doing our part for social distancing.
Right.
You get to stay at home and watch us cut the food.
Yes.
What better than that?
Yes. Hey, next week, hopefully we can show that clip of Britt dropkicking somebody for a Whopper at Burger King.
We not free plugging them people, man.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. I don't even like their food like that.
That's true.
I'm just saying.
It's kind of greasy. It makes your skin shiny.
Shiny?
Just
let your soul glow, baby.
oh wow,
Yeah, that's not my thing.
y'all are
Feeling
seeing
nose so silky smooth.
y'all are seeing his other talents and why he's on here doing this show.
Yeah, because that ain't
Hey, I'm just glad you're back on TV and got off the pole. So it's a good
Bro,
thing.
you gotta first listen.
Huh? Meanwhile,
Bro, you gotta chill. You
Couldn't
gotta
have been me.
chill, bro. You gotta chill.
couldn't have been me. But he is available for bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, cake popping, anything that you need.
I've never
let
come
us-
out of a cake a day in my life. I need you to take that back. Please walk that back.
What about in the one? Boy, he got quiet. He got quiet on that one. Couldn't have been me.
You having too much fun with this, man. I'm tired of too much fun. But yeah, like we were saying, man, Instagram at The Fighter Share, Twitter at The TFS Report, Facebook, The Fighter Share fan page, and email thefightershare@gmail.com.
Right.
Send us some clips, man. We would love to see them. I mean, this is going to be the part of the show that's going to be pretty big, man. I can see it being like, you got Moss, right? On Monday Night Football, right?
Yes,
Similar to that,
you
right?
got most.
Okay, there we go. We're just doing
Couldn't
it for
been me.
Combat Sports.
And look, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this, let people know we're on, because they ain't got nothing to do either.
No, not at
So
all.
they're going to be mad at you the day they see us acting like a fool. And talking about things with common sense.
Oh, and by the way,
Yes.
when all this Corona nonsense is over, and we get back to streaming fights for these guys, these promoters, this is the kind of commentary you're gonna get.
Yes.
It's not gonna be your traditional stuffy,
No.
regular, old
Scripted.
boxing nah, we ain't doing that.
No.
We gonna call it just how we see it, fair, down the middle, unbiased. And hey, if somebody spits on the timekeeper, we gonna talk about that.
Bro, that happened at the fight.
That's why I put it in there.
I mean, he turned around and his bucket wasn't there, and he spit right on the
timekeeper.
and she was like, oh my God. Yes. She looked like she was about to get up in the ring, but she composed herself.
Couldn't have been me.
Especially with the coronavirus.
Couldn't have been me.
He'd have won one.
Yeah.
I'd have beaten him with his cup. He would have won one.
So
I'm
wrap
sorry.
up.
Oh. Hey, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Let people know what we're doing. This show was a good show this week.
Man, let's get some shout outs, man. Pier 6 Promotion.
Pier 6 Promotion.
TNK Promotion.
TNK Promotion. Tito, Jay.
Yeah, man. Everybody, man. All of our local boxers,
Silky.
MMA fighters.
Yes. Jeremy.
Everybody, man. We doing this for y'all.
Please.
Period.
Coach G, we see you.
Coach G, yeah.
Um,
What's that? Raise the Bar Fitness?
Yeah.
Have you seen his son, Little Savages?
Yes.
Boy, that kid there.
Yes.
I mean, he got him doing them prison workouts.
Yes.
Think about that.
That really
But
makes
that little
me-
kid
yeah.
got some, listen, the work ethic is second to none. How old is
Yes.
he? Is he even 10? How old is
I
he?
don't think he's 10.
Like, what?
7, 8.
Coach G, let us know how old your kid is,
Yeah.
man, because that's pretty impressive what you got him doing. I
is.
must say so myself. Man.
Martin Smash Brown,
Trey,
shout out to you.
Yeah, man.
Chopper Reed.
Robert Reed, even though he don't fight no more, he just a model now. He's just a model. He just posts pictures of his kids and his dog, and every now and then he'll post a selfie. That's my dude, though, Robert Reed, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jones High School, Orlando. All my homies that went to Jones, man. Everybody, man. Shout out to all them.
Man, they've been good for years, though.
No, they ain't been good for years. They've been struggling, but yeah. All right, we'll let Jones have that. Hammer, little bro. Shout out.
Hey, Jack Sledge.
Sledge, man. Yes, sir.
Look out for Hammer, because Erickson Lubin, your next world champion at 54.
And in case y'all didn't know, we are Florida based. If y'all can't tell by my accent, not his, you know what I'm saying? In the bite, not the back.
Oh.
Like I said, we Florida. That's what we do. So I'm always bigging up my Florida people. So all my Florida fighters out there, man. I'm talking
Javante Davis, Baltimore, stand up.
about- I'm talking about
Stand
all
up,
old
Maryland,
heads. Nate
DC,
Campbell,
Virginia.
Antonio
Stand up,
Tarver,
DMV.
Derek Spoke Gainer, Roy Jones Jr., who else? Randall Bailey, who else? Glenn Johnson, even though I think he's from Jamaica, right?
Right.
But he live-
But y'all claim
all
anybody.
my
Go ahead.
Florida fighters, man. Birdo, Thurman, Hammer, Miguel Cruz. Who I'm
Mr.
forgetting?
Legale.
Biggie Boy. Who else I'm forgetting? My dog don't fight no more, but shout out to Biggie. Who else I'm forgetting? Man, Amos
Dennis
Powers,
Galarza.
man. Dennis the Surgeon Galarza. Jason. Man. Who else? Is somebody else?
Justin Paldo.
Paldo, Justin and Daquan Paldo,
Daquan
who's
on
now
that,
in the
yeah.
Navy. Hey, we're gonna get the interview with you, Daquan. We need to hear about how this change is working out for
Yeah,
you, man.
man.
You went from kicking ass, now you're taking orders,
Right.
but you like it. You seem to be enjoying Navy pretty good. So we're gonna get
They
you on
give
here,
me a
man, and talk
paycheck.
about it. But dog getting paid.
They feed you and they give you money.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, why you think pimps stay in business? Hey, just saying, it's the same premise. It's the same premise. Now, what he's doing is honorable. He decided that was his calling to go fight for our country. Salute you, bro. I'm just saying the premise.
Oh, I forgot. Bro, we tripping. These YouTube channels. Bro.
We need y'all to go buy a bag of integrity. Really, go buy a bag of integrity. Because if you're not going to get on here and speak fact, don't get on here at all. Don't get on here and just speak for the promotion or speak for a certain fighter when you know you're wrong.
Yeah, man.
When
This
you
is
know
getting
you're
out of control.
wrong.
This is getting out of control. In the famous words of Kevin Hart, y'all stop being Mitches, man. Y'all are
Mitches!
some Mitches, bro. Like, y'all out here caping for these dudes like y'all getting a paycheck.
Mitches!
Is PBC paying y'all? Is Top Rank paying y'all?
Golden Boy.
Is the Zone paying y'all?
Yeah.
Is Golden Boy paying y'all? Oh, wait,
Eddie
I
Hearn?
get it. Y'all doing it for the credentials.
Ah.
That's how they get. That's why we right here and they out there.
Wow.
Maybe we should start doing it for the credentials.
No. Let's think about what Lil Flip said in Game Over. You got your name off, you got your deal off your man, but I got my deal off props. I'd rather move up based on the hard work that we put in.
Yeah.
Based on bending over and grabbing my toes. I just can't do that.
Damn, or biting a
Can't
pillow.
do that.
That's
Or
tough.
biting the pillow.
Look, we gonna
If
stop
they
all
give
that.
you a pillow to bite.
Listen, but in all seriousness, man, you know, I'm gonna make this real short and quick. I wanted Wilder to win the fight. I was pulling for Wilder to win the fight. Wilder lost the fight, and that's it. He gonna get another shot at some point in the future. And we gonna leave that at that. All this glove gate stuff. I mean, y'all chill out with all that, man.
Hey, whatever.
Because the man ain't come out and say nothing about it.
That's
y'all need to be
the
quiet.
only point I agree with you with. That's where I agree with you. That Wilder did not